Hey, Brooke.
Roger. Good to see you.
So I was trying to think like when the first year we actually met. Was it 2012 or 13? You invited me down to LA.
Yeah, well, we did New Year's together.
Yeah. New Year's together, that was after we had already.
Yeah.
That wasn't the first time we'd met. We'd met before that, I think. So probably 2013, I guess.
Probably sometime in.
Does that sound right?
Yeah, early 2013. I think. Who would have? Yeah, probably early 2013.
And so we've both seen and done a lot in the space in that time, and it's been fun.
2013, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I have more than 19 gray hairs now, and I had zero when we got started. Yeah. So we've both done a lot and seen a lot in the space. A lot of the people that will watch this video don't know a whole lot about EOS, and nor do I, for that matter, to be honest. So I want to hear more. Tell me more about EOS and why should people be excited about EOS, if you don't mind. So.
Well, so I mean, I'm chain agnostic.
You and me both. Like a lot of people view me as like Bitcoin Cash only. No, I like anything that works. If it's useful, I'm going to use it. So.
And I don't know what the future holds.
Yeah.
There was a period of time where I was a straight up Bitcoin maximalist. Because that's all.
Like it had the miles long.
Because that's all there
everything.
was.
Yeah.
And Ethereum demonstrated, wait, there is alternatives, and Litecoin and Bitcoin Cash and even Bitcoin SV, as painful as it is. We just had probably the most interesting panel I've seen in the space. Dr. Doom, who you just debated, Nouriel Roubini, Craig Wright, Tone Vaye, Bobby Lee. I thought Bobby was going to be the quiet one. He turned out
not to be.
Yeah, he kind of took Tone Vaye's kind of role of the principal sort of warrior vis-a-vis Dr. Doom. But I mean, I even said kind words about, Craig Wright. I don't think that we ever want to close our minds to any potential reality. When you close the door on a potential reality,
you miss out.
You might miss out. I know it's painful for a lot of people, but Bitcoin SV is got a real market cap. Yeah. There are lots of people that agree that it might have a future, which means it might.
It might. Anything's possible.
Exactly. And I believe that maximalism is
very similar.
Yeah, very similar to religious fundamentalism. My coin is better than your coin. My chain is better than your coin. I'm a believer in innovation. Let's continue to operate with open minds, open hearts, continue to innovate. We can agree to disagree, and let's try and make the world a better place. And if any of us succeeds in doing that, we all win.
I feel like you're taking the words right out of my mouth.
And you've gotten a lot of this.
Yeah.
And I've watched all the great work that you've done on behalf of this ecosystem, the evangelism that you've been doing tirelessly with your own money, day after day after day. And again, that same maximalism and closed-mindedness,
doesn't help anybody, right?
Well, and first, you've contributed as much as anyone in the space.
Thank
you.
The
fact that so many people give you a hard time for it, I mean, I've seen it.
That just shows their lack of understanding for the space. Right?
Yeah, and we can, again, agree to disagree, and I understand you're a man of principle. Again, people that have not been around and haven't seen how you operate, you're a man of integrity, and you have your beliefs, and you're standing up for what you believe to be right. And one of the things that we need to do a better job of is engaging in respectful conversation, right? And to listen to why people have the positions they have. We live in a world that's really polarizing right now, where the left won't talk to the right, the blue won't talk to the red. And if we hope to create a better future, it starts with respecting each other's opinions enough to the point to try and understand where you're coming from. That doesn't mean we have to agree on everything. We can agree to disagree, but we should at least be able to engage in healthy discourse. Because it's only through those types of conversations can you find compromise.
And if someone likes something different than you, let them like it, right?
Exactly.
If you like Coke and I like Pepsi, I'm happy for you. I'm glad you like the Coke, right?
Yeah, you do you. But we don't have to be throwing, Coke cans at you just because you like Coke.
That's right. Or don't throw the Pepsi cans the other direction.
You do you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a big part of the philosophy of this industry, and I see a lot of hypocritical behavior. A lot of the tweeting leading up to this, boycott the event because Craig Wright's there.
So what?
I mean, again, we believe in, a lot of people believe that a core fundamental principle here is censorship resistance. But at the same time, then you're saying censor this person's opinion?
Yeah.
It's very, very hypocritical. You don't have to agree with everyone. You don't have to like everyone. But, this is a bit of a free speech sort of, foundation.
And we both lived through it in the cryptocurrency thing. That was the thing that kind of made me the most disappointed, was when the censorship started within the Bitcoin community.
What happened on Reddit, I don't agree with it.
Yeah, to this day, it's still going on. It's really
I'm a believer in, yes.
Talk about things. Have some
Talk about things.
Yeah.
And we don't have to agree, but at least have the conversations, because everyone's point matters.
Yeah, and if someone has a stupid point out why it's stupid. Don't call the person stupid. Say, here's why it's a dumb idea.
Well, and the community will stop tuning in.
Yeah.
But when you stop letting people's opinions that people want to hear
be heard,
that's
disaster in the making. Yeah.
Well, that goes against the fundamental principles of why many of us are here. Maybe not everyone, because some of us are here for different reasons.
Almost all of the early people, though.
But that's a big part of what drew us to this space. I mean, it's the foundational principles. Is the idea that we don't want to be censored.
So speaking of not wanting to be censored, I hear EOS has all sorts of dApps in the works.
Yeah, well, EOS has got, in terms of Generation 3 protocols, right? It's in the Generation 3 category, highly scalable, using delegated proof of stake, which, again, some people may say good or bad. Ethereum is going down that path with a slightly different flavor of it, but most people are recognizing if you want highly scalable systems, DPoS is one of
many ways to do it, right?
But one of the main ways that it's working right now. Yeah. That doesn't mean it's the only way, and it doesn't mean that there's a future.
It doesn't mean it's better than every other way.
It doesn't mean it, but right now it's definitely one of the, call it, popular methodologies for trying to solve for scalability. And again, it doesn't mean that that's the answer, and it may not be around, in the future.
Maybe something even better next year. Yeah,
exactly. So, but as of right now, I mean, EOS is, in terms of live blockchains, delivering probably the greatest form of scalability. And the question is, at what cost? And some people would say it's centralized, right? And so it is, in the world of decentralized, it's not like it's black or white.
It's a scale.
There's a scale, and there's trade-offs. And so...
And I've been saying for a while that decentralization is not the goal. It's
correct.
Just the tool.
It needs to be sufficiently decentralized to deliver whatever
the goal is.
Yeah. And those are different. Not everything is trying to be currency, right?
Yeah.
There are multiple use cases for building resilient, distributed, or decentralized systems. Not everyone's goals are identical, right? I mean, Ethereum's original stated goal was to build a world computer. But and more, right? And so, EOS is definitely one of those systems to pay attention to. We are seeing some, dApps that are performing and delivering early results, but still it's early days.
It's so early still.
Nouriel Roubini is right in many senses that, this stuff doesn't quite work today. Where I disagree with him is that he's judging us by today, not by where we're going. And if you judged the internet by how it performed in 1990, you would have written it off completely. But he is right. 90 to 99% of the projects are probably shit.
ICOs and they're not so great.
Yes, and there were a lot of scams. And there were a lot of Ponzi's. He's not entirely wrong.
Right. But that doesn't mean that the system as a whole isn't amazing and doing amazing things for the world.
Correct. And this is, where we see the world a little differently. I mean, you and I think, agree on most things.
You get along pretty well, Rob.
I understand where you come from. I haven't found myself disagreeing with you on much, if ever.
We get along pretty well. So.
Yeah. Well, we're open-minded, largely, givers.
Yeah. We're here for the love of the game at this point, not because we need something from anybody. So.
Yeah, exactly. We're motivated by a lot of the same drivers, same principles.
So,
check out EOS. I think EOS is interesting, though right now EOS needs to solve for its governance issues. The governance of EOS is running off
That seems to be the hardest thing on every chain.
Governance. It's the same problem. Well, this has
with
been
regular politics.
This has been the problem for thousands of years.
Yeah.
Since human beings have begun to organize, this has been for millennium.
I guess
humanity's biggest issue is how do we solve for governance?
I guess that's why one-size-fits-all systems are so bad and having a variety of choice is so good. And
we need lots of experiments.
Yeah.
Because humanity has not gotten it right over thousands of years. And we are right back to essentially where our founding fathers of the United States were. And they tried very hard to build a system
of governance that would work.
That had a division of sort of powers, and that was, supposed to be resistant to system capture. And, they
kind of seems like it didn't work out so well in the end.
They did their best.
They tried.
But we're back at it. We're right where they were again, but we have new tools. We have new tools.
And more knowledge, right? We have
more
access to
knowledge.
the internet to research this stuff.
But I think we're right back to where the founding fathers were. And I believe in the founding fathers. I think they were great men.
They sure tried.
And they were doing
did the best
exactly
job in the history of the world up till that point.
And we are right there again. And this is, as I like to tell everyone, this is an invitation to everyone paying attention. This is our opportunity, to get involved. We are right back where our founding fathers were again. And it's not limited to fathers. This is an invitation to all the women too. We have a chance to rewrite the framework and build a governance system that is ultimately inclusive, that takes us away from a world of scarcity to a world of abundance, to a world of fairness, to a world of truth and transparency, all sorts of good stuff. And there could be many flavors of it. But
there should be many flavors.
This is our opportunity to build a better future. We all have an invitation to get involved and to participate. It is that big a deal.
So that's perfect for what is your long-term goal, right? What's success for you in your involvement with this?
Make the world a better place. Leave it better than I found it. When I depart this world,
hopefully neither of us are going to depart this world anytime soon either.
Not anytime soon, but whatever your beliefs are, when I meet my maker, however you want to perceive that, whatever your beliefs, I will be able to say with complete conviction that with the time that I've been given on this planet, I've done everything in my power to make a difference. I did not sit by idly. I did everything in my power to make this world a better place. And yes, of course, I've made lots of mistakes, and I'm going to make many more. But I've done everything I possibly can. I've operated with a moral compass, as true north as I know. I operate with integrity. I will not compromise it for anything, at whatever cost. I will suffer the consequences. Whatever it is they threaten, I will not compromise my integrity. And I know when I meet my maker, however you want to perceive that or whatever it is that you believe, I've done my part. And the only power I have in this world is to change myself. I don't have the power to change anyone else. But we do have the power to lead by example. And if we lead by example and we do things in a good way, we do have the power to inspire others.
Lead by inspiration.
To stand up for what they believe is right and to further inspire us, because teamwork can make this collective dream work. I believe each and every one of us have unique superpowers or the potential, to have those. I believe in us as superheroes, but we're all unique. We're all unique pieces of a puzzle. We all hold different keys. And only together can we make that great sort of mosaic to transform the world that we live in into that world that we all believe is possible. Yeah, we can make the world a better place. And I believe those of us that are in this space are doing that.
Clearly. It's an honor to be doing it with you, Brock. And I'm so thankful to have your friendship. And I'm looking forward to the next, decade together doing this.
Yes, please. Yeah. Onward and upward.
Onward and upward, okay.
Thank you for all you do.
Yeah, I guess. Thank you, guys. Where should people follow you in your work, Brock?
You can find me on Twitter at Brock Pierce. I should be more active. You can find me on YouTube at the channel is Brock Chain.
For those of you in Japan, is that with an R or an L? So.
With an R, yes. L's and R's do get mixed up sometimes. Yeah.
Perfect. So anyhow, thank you all. Thank you, Brock.
Thank you. Thank you, Roger. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep up the good fight.